In 2009, The Guardian asked the great British public a simple question. Have you ever claimed to have read a book when you have not? 65% of respondents bowed their heads in shame, and for 42% the book was the same. George Orwell's 1984. Which makes sense when you look at the world and see how poor some folks are at identifying and opposing totalitarian oligarchies. Similarly, I'm willing to bet there's a healthy subset of folks who say they've played Beyond Good and Evil, but who are just trying to score points by name-dropping one of the best stealth adventures of the 6th gen. Well, now's your time to make good by actually playing this thing, because more of us need to know how to identify and oppose occupation by a secretive peacekeeping force that might be in cahoots with the aliens that keep invading. Just in case that happens, you know. There's been a lot of talk going on about how games need stronger female characters. Well, here's how we were doing it in 2003. A girl with a stick and a camera who leaves the orphanage she runs to dismantle an alien invasion through the use of bokata and photojournalism. She starts out just getting by with odd jobs and assignments to keep the lights on, and by lights we mean shields, like documenting all of the species of the area and doing some investigation for a mysterious dude in a spiffy hovercar. Turns out it was all a test from the insurgent group Iris, pretty close to an unfortunate name there, who want to recruit Jade here to infiltrate the Alpha Section's more dubious operations, take some pictures, and publish them in order to stoke an uprising. That's one way to do it.
Got it, Shawnee. I'll send this photo on to the governor. She'll send you the code to the locker.
The bad news is that certain elements of this game are a bit dated. While the models have been tuned up, things like cutscenes and overlays are still pretty pixelated, to say nothing of facial animations when characters are talking. Might as well just presume it's an intentional homage to the kung fu films of yore if it makes you feel better. Plus, for a game so fixated on stealth action, getting the camera to obey you takes a swift hand and a firm stomach. There, the gripes are out of the way. Now let's get back to what makes Beyond Good and Evil one of the most celebrated games of this century, the world and its characters. This is, at heart, a game about how media shapes the world around us. After the disturbance at your lighthouse, there's a news crew on the scene to get the scoop, but only the scoop that plays well with the heavily armed authorities. Most corners of the game have a radio or a TV belching out the latest spin, with the occasional special message from the benevolent Alpha Sections and maybe a call for recruits. It's an all-pervasive, constant bombardment of propaganda, which manifests itself in the background music of the Akuta Bar, considered by me to be in the top 5 pieces of video game music ever created, and a standout even on its own stellar soundtrack, even if it is in mostly unintelligible Bulgarian. Beyond Good and Evil tried to be a game with a message. Sometimes that can be a tricky situation. Plenty of well-meaning games before and after would find themselves slaves to their central point, trying to beat it into our skulls with a mallet at the cost of gameplay and enjoyment. But Jade's Adventure managed to keep the entire experience lighthearted enough to balance the two, with a healthy dose of slapstick and pithy one-liners to go along with the important takeaway that all the media you take in is heavily politicized and deserving of criticism in its own right. You're just going to be getting this message between bouts of big old boss fights and cruising the inland sea looking for sweet upgrades to your hovercraft. Unfortunately for fans of obscene translation guides, though, there is no option to fill it with eels. You'll have to do that on your own.